Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks so much for joining me today on this Tuesday where we're going to finish up an experiment. But before I get to that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thanks so much for joining me on my artistic and crafty adventures, and welcome back everyone who's been hanging out with me the past few months, weeks, days, however long you've been with me. It's been so wonderful to get to know you here in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. That is where I post pictures of my works in progress throughout the week. I post pictures of baking and cooking that I don't film and what stuff that I do film. I post pictures of history and teaching and my dog and life and all sorts of different things. That's basically my social space, and you can find me there at Dr._Christy, which has probably been right here this whole time. I do try to put it up early. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts and baking and history and the history of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe and stick around. And today we're doing one of the other textile crafts, and that is dyeing. So as many of you who've been with me for several months know, a few months ago I bought a natural dyeing kit, and I'll put that up here, and I'll also put the unboxing up here. And this was from woolery.com, and it was a natural dyeing kit with all sorts of different natural dyes and mordants and acids and all sorts of different things in it to play around with. And I did a little bit of dyeing last year, but haven't really had the time to do it since. I've been surprisingly busy considering I'm not leaving my house very often. Anyway, but I had a little bit of mordanted wool left, and basically that's like the preparation. Like I had the wool prepared for dye, but I was saving it for something else, and that something else never happened. And so somebody, and I can't remember who, told me to experiment and to put it in a jar with madder, which is the red dye that I was playing around with, and leave it in the sun for a month and then come back to it. Well, I don't have anywhere that has sun in my house. We have a very shady lot, which is good for Mississippi, and we don't get any direct sunlight anywhere. So I basically just put it in a jar, this jar, and put it on my desk. And in my mind thought, I need to take this out sometime in January and wash it and see what happens. It's February. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take this jar of wool, and I think I threw some cotton in there as well. And it looks like there are bad things in there. So we're just going to see what happened. I have already prepped the bathroom, and I'm going to dump this out so you can see the liquid, and then I will edit it so that you don't have to like see the whole process, but I'll keep you posted on how it goes, and then we'll come back afterwards and see what it all looks like. All right. So let's get into the rinsing station. I'm going to try not to move this too much, but it is at an odd angle. So this is just a bucket that I got from the Dollar Tree, and the first thing I want to do is pour out and just see what the liquid looks like. There's not a lot of color in this. So that tells me, oh goodness, there's like a gross film on this. Yeah, that's going to be disgusting. But we're just going to wash it, see what happens. So I'm going to pause you and dump this out and get some clear dish soap in here and some water and the threads and get them kind of washed. All right, so that is rinsed, and let's put these disgusting things in. Yeah. And let's rinse them around. So this here is the, this light stuff is the cotton. And this is the wool. And the goal, of course, is to rinse it until there's no more, until it runs clear. I'm kind of making a mess here. It did sort of dump all over me, but luckily that's why I decided to wear a red shirt. I don't know how much of this I'm going to keep in, but I really want to make sure I don't drop my phone in this. That would be bad. I did end up dumping one of the things down the drain, so that's good. That's looking fairly clear. I don't know, that looks pretty clear to me. This pour, look how scraggly it looks. Well, I'm gonna dry this. I'm not being very kind to it. So I'm going to maybe one more rinse and then lay it out to dry and then see what it looks like when it's dry, because this looks really sad. One more. All right, I think that's washed and rinsed and a complete disaster. So I will let it dry and I'll show you what it looks like. Although at the moment it looks pretty matted and basically like felt. We'll see what it looks like when it's dry. Okay, well, everything's rinsed out. It's dried. I actually untangled it and I have 4 tiny little skeins of dyed wool floss. I also have this mess of cotton floss that I was not going to like untangle. And I mean, it's dyed. It's not anything exciting. And if we look at the ones that I dyed sort of more conventionally, I don't know that it like made any difference. Unfortunately, as far as experiments go, this was not a good one because I don't think I took any notes. I think I just like threw some matter in a jar with some yarn. But it is making me feel like I want to try dyeing again. In my mind, dyeing takes a lot of time and like I have to set aside a whole day. And maybe I do, but maybe I should just give myself that time because I have, hold on one second. I have like all these skeins of wool, of yarn that I want to dye that would be like beautiful for embroidering. And I think I just need to play around. And if I screw up, I mean, you know, this was $13 and is like 1,100 yards or meters. But like, if I mess up, if I, you know, if this is 100 grams, we'll just say that this is 100 grams of yarn. And if I do 10 gram skeins of this and I mess up, it's $13. And I feel like I have 4 of these. I have room to mess up and I just need to accept that I might mess up and that's okay. And it just means that I won't have a color that I like, or it won't be the color that I want, but I'll still have like a color. And maybe I'll do some, I don't know, maybe I'll be super creative like all those people I see on Instagram and do some like really exciting, natural, organic-y embroidery thing. Or maybe not. Or maybe I'll just like have fun dyeing things. So that's my experiment for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't anything exciting, but I do have some yarns, and these are 2 different kinds, but honestly, like, I don't even remember what they were anymore. I got to take better notes. Once I start using this stuff, I don't know. I've just been really kind of excited about dyeing lately, and I've been following some dyers on Instagram who are doing really cool things. So a couple things. Number one, it felted a good bit. These weren't incredibly difficult to untangle, but they definitely felted a bit, and so they're very kind of rough, as you can see. They also weakened a bit, and so a couple of them broke as I was untangling it. But it had been sitting in basically, I think it had been basically sitting in like an acid for 2 months. That is not surprising. The color is kind of this weird peachy color, which I don't love. But that seems to be the only color I can get out of madder. So I need to do more research on madder. But this is, like I said before, like I am not, considering that like research is like part of my job. I sure don't want to put the time into researching my crafts before I just like dive in to do them. So I think I might do some research on madder and the different colors you can do with madder and how like it reacts with different chemicals and that kind of a thing, because I do want to actually get some good colors out of this, like a nice deep like rust color out of this. And then maybe I'll try a different chemical, a different dye agent as opposed to just madder, and we'll see. I don't know. We'll see where I get. So I don't know that you'll see these in a piece. Maybe if I need like a rustic something, this will go into a piece, but as of now, this is not going to go in a piece. I'll stick it on that ring probably and just kind of run with it. Anyway, I think that's it from me and my soaking wool for 2 months in madder dye. And I don't think I'm going to do that again. I just don't have sun. This is the problem. I think it needed sun. I think it needed the heat and it needed the sun. And I just didn't have it in the winter in Mississippi. I'm glad that I finally got that jar off my desk. And I will see you on Friday for my floss tube. So thank you all so much for watching. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.